Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. It's good to be back. I know the videos have been coming in really slow right now, but we're getting back into it. In this video today, we're going to be putting FL Studio and Ableton Live against one another. And this is not to see the functionalities of both, but this is just to check which one has better audio quality and to check the differences side by side, because this is a question that a lot of people ask me, is FL Studio better than Ableton Live, or is Ableton Live better than FL Studio? Which one sounds best? So today we're going to be checking them out and see what's going to happen and see how both DAWs sound side by side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something simple in FL Studio, and then I'm going to create the same thing in Ableton Live, and then we can listen to both of these little demos and kind of judge and see if there's going to be any difference. So this is going to be really interesting and really exciting. I actually wanted to do this, but I thought, let me do this and share it with you guys. So I'm going to be using the same samples from my XDizzle Deep House SA sample pack, and I'm also going to use the same plugins as well on both sides of these DAWs. And before we go anywhere, if you're new here to the channel, subscribe down below. I have a lot of great content that have to do with everything audio and music production, so be sure to subscribe and be sure to drop this video a like. It also supports the channel. But anyways, let's get into it. So what I'm going to do in FL Studio, I'm not going to drop any of my kicks into the channel rack, because obviously Ableton Live doesn't have a channel rack. So I'm going to be using the arrangement section, because sometimes if you put stuff in the channel rack, you're tempted to play with the volume, and I don't want to tweak any volume. I don't want to add any effects. I just want to put in sounds as they are, because this is just an output test. So I'm just going to look for a kick that I'm going to use here. Let me pick kick number 4. Okay, so I'm going to drop that kick, and our tempo is at 120. And I'm just going to loop this 4 bars. And then I'm going to go into Ableton Live and pick the same kick, number 4, and I'm just going to drop it here. And I'm just going to make sure that it keeps repeating itself. And then I'm just going to copy over. Just make sure my tempo is 120. Okay, so that's Ableton Live, and now FL Studio. Cool, now let's add a clap. Let's go into claps. I like clap number 6. Let me drop that in. Let me put that there. Now let's go into Ableton Live, and let's use the same clap number 6, and now Ableton Live. Awesome. Now let's add some hats. Copy these over. So this is hi-hat number 4. And I'm going to go into Ableton and look for hi-hat number 4 as well. Duplicate. Just to make sure it goes all the way. So this is FL Studio. And now Ableton Live. Now let's add a plugin, and the plugin I'm going to add right now is Expand, and I'm just going to use the default preset that loads up with Expand. I'm not going to go into the presets and load up any other preset, and I'm going to go into these Deep House chords and progressions, and I'm just going to use the first progression that I'm going to find here, which is this first one, and I'm going to drop it into a channel. let's do the same in Ableton Live. Just gonna load the same progression over here. Go to plugins and load up expand. Just drop that there. There you have it, the same preset. Let's go back to FL Studio and play it again. Okay, cool. Now let's add a bass line. So we're just gonna add a simple bass line, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add DDX10. And in DDX10, I'm going to select the preset sine bass. That's the one I'm going to select. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this same chord progression and throw it on there. And I'm just going to use the bass notes from this chord progression only. So I'm just going to delete all the other notes on top here. Just going to delete that. And then I'm just going to transpose these notes up one time. Awesome. Now let's do the same thing in Ableton Live. I'm going to drop in DDX10, put in the same sine bass, and copy the same preset. There we go. And then now let's take a listen. Awesome. Now let's play FL Studio again, and then we can listen side by side. So pay attention at this moment, because this is basically now a track that's already done. So now let's play that back. This is FL Studio playing. Check output. Awesome. Now this is Ableton Live. Let me just make sure I'm starting at the beginning. So there you have it. That's Ableton Live stacked up against FL Studio. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know if you heard any differences, because a lot of people and a lot of beginners ask whether Ableton Live sounds better than FL Studio, or either FL Studio sounds better than Ableton Live. But I think with this test, we can actually figure that out ourselves. And probably right now you're listening to this in your own setup through your studio monitors or headphones or whatever, so you can hear how both sounds, in case you don't own a copy of either. Maybe you have Ableton Live but you're thinking about FL Studio, or maybe you have FL Studio and you're thinking about Ableton Live. So now you can actually hear the audio test between the two stacked side by side with the same sounds and the same plugins. But I want to know what you guys think down below. Which one sounds better to you? Do they sound the same? I want to know what you guys think. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to have download links to these tracks that I just made on either side, and I'm going to label them FL Studio and Ableton, so you can play them in high quality, because, you know, YouTube compression does something to the sound and to the video as well. It might compress the sound so you can get the high quality files. So in case you want to play them back in their high quality, I'm gonna have wave files down below that you can download so that you can do a proper test for yourself. But you let me know what you think about this down below. If you like these kind of videos, also let me know down below. I can actually maybe do more verses. Maybe I can try if it's maybe compressors against another compressor and EQ against another EQ, effects and different things like that stacked side by side. Because here on YouTube, you always see these verses type videos where you see like filmmakers trying to test out an iPhone versus maybe an Arri Alexa or a GH5 versus a Canon 5D. So we must also have videos like that in music production as well, and that's what I want to introduce. But if you like these videos as well, let me know by dropping a like down below. If you're new here on the channel, remember you can only check out more of my videos if you subscribe, so make sure to subscribe down below. I'm gonna check you guys out in my next video, and I can't wait to see what you guys are gonna say down below in the comments. I'll see you in my next video. I'm X, and I'm out. Peace.